the PDC has announced that it's going to stage its first competition in Saudi Arabia on the 19th and 20th of January next year. It's going to be part of the World Series of Darts, but unlike other events around the world, there'll be no booze on sale. And we've seen what the darts has been like when the guys go travelling. We've seen them over in Netherlands. We've seen them in Belgium, where they like to drink a beer or two. And we've certainly seen it at the Ali Pali. And the atmosphere is incredible. I mean, it is incredible. It's fun, it's rowdy, it's raucous, it's noisy. So no booze in Saudi. Can darts possibly work? Barry Hearn was at least honest enough to say to me a short time ago, he has absolutely no idea. But what do you think? 03717 223344 81089. Do you think it can possibly work out there when, sad to say, no booze, no atmosphere? What do you honestly think? Many people getting in touch. Not a chance, says Lenny. That's why I tune in all the time to the Ali Pali. He says, I love it. I love the atmosphere and I love looking at the costumes and certain people who are close to being out their heads. Well, that will not be happening in Saudi Arabia, Lenny. I can assure you of that. Many of you giving us a call. Steve is a Leicester City fan. He's also no doubt a fan of the darts. Steve, could it possibly work, the darts, in Saudi Arabia?
Not a chance, I don't think. I go to the darts quite a lot. I've sat in the dear seats, I've sat in the cheap seats, and the thing is, you can't see the dartboard, so you go for the atmosphere. And to create that atmosphere, people drink, people dress up. It's amazing, but I just can't see it working without alcohol and people creating the atmosphere that way.
So you actually
don't actually go for the darts.
Exactly. I was just going to ask you that. You're conceding to us that you actually don't go to watch the darts. You go just to soak up the atmosphere.
You do go to watch the darts. I've sat in the deer seats at some of the major events to be able to see the dartboard. But when you can't get them tickets because it gets snapped up so quick, you just get a seat wherever you can and you go for the atmosphere. Yes, they've got the big screens there, but you may as well watch it on TV. You get the best view on TV. You go for the atmosphere.
Steve, thanks for that. There's Jonathan Marsden. Guys, sport is only good because of atmosphere. It's like everything else. You remember COVID football? It was terrible because there was no atmosphere. Darts with no crowd or nobody really enjoying it and soaking up the atmosphere, it won't work because sport in Saudi so far has shown that there's very little atmosphere.
Well, it depends on your definition of how it works. Simon's point's fair because if you're talking about the audience over here in Europe watching it on telly without the atmosphere, I don't see that working. But if Saudis aren't bothered about that and they're talking about just filling it bums on seats with their own people to give them a show of darts that's different to ours, then that might work.
Yeah. Maybe in Saudi Arabia they'll actually appreciate the darts more.
I mean, it's a good point that the caller makes about, I mean, you go to boxing fights, and sometimes I've been at boxing arenas when you see them right up in the gods and they cannot see the ring.
Yeah.
So they're there for something different. They're there for the whole ambience. So by the metrics that we are measuring it by, what we define as success, it's very unlikely it'll translate to Saudi in that respect. But given the culture of that country and the measurement that they may put on it, who are we to define what they define as success for them in terms of their funding of this particular competition, this particular leg of it, and what the dart players may get paid? They may well define it as a roaring success, and we sit there going, well, this can't be successful, this can't be any good. By their standards, it may well be.
The other big question is, can the players perform to the wonderful levels we see them perform at without that intense pressure?
That's a good point.
Because it feels to me...
Without the craziness at the back.
When you watch the Premier League or you watch the World Championships and you've got this raucous crowd, one half of them are going for one player, the other half, they're having banter with them. They're motivated by the crowd, especially the players who get a bit of stick. It's like they're motivated by it, and then they start throwing more 180s. They get the 9 darters. And will you see that level of darts with a very placid,
well-behaved
more refined crowd?
Chelsea fan John, do you think darts works without the booze? Good morning.
Good morning. I mean, I don't think you're comparing apples with apples. When you say it's not going to work over there because they've never had alcohol, in the UK we've always had that. So in their culture they've never had that. So the atmosphere may be the same. You just don't know currently.
John, that's Simon's point, isn't it? You're
well, the atmosphere's not going to
singing from the same hymn sheet.
You don't get the same atmosphere with 10,000 sober people and 10,000...
Yeah. Chris, what do you think? Manchester United fan. You've got to have a few drinks before you watch United these days, never mind the darts. But what do you think? Does darts work without the booze?
Hey, we're not doing too bad lately.
All right.
We had a good win at the weekend.
Well said, Chris. What do you think?
It's It's very interesting, this, because I work with a lot of darts players, PDC players, amateur players, all
You do?
levels.
Right.
Yes, I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and psychotherapist. I work with Stephen Bunton and Nathan Aspinall to name two. And it's really interesting, this, for me, because it is a big aspect of playing is drinking to do with darts. And really it just masks nerves, what I find, but a lot of players do it. And it will be very, very interesting to see how they perform without the influence of alcohol, really.
Oh, you're saying there actually a lot of the players have a little drink before they play. Is that what your point is?
Yes, it's the culture, isn't it? I mean, that's at all levels. Drinking comes with darts.
Yeah, but Barry Hearn was just actually saying that most players now don't drink. You're actually going against that.
Not going against it, so to speak. It's all in the individual, isn't it? I mean, I work with a lot of JDC players, and more of them, obviously because of their age, they don't drink. And I work with some amateur players that don't drink and some professional players that don't drink, but quite a lot still do.
Okay, good point. Chris, thanks for that. Well, time will tell. Because it heads out there in January, we'll know more then. James is waiting to speak to us. James, darts without the alcohol, does it work?
Hi, mate. Yeah, good show as always, guys.
Thanks, James.
Yeah, what it is I go to the F1 every year. I've done for years and years now. Obviously, you're in the circuit from 7:30 till 10 o'clock at night. So I've been in before now with like about 15 cans of beer sort of thing, which is not a lot. I'm not promoting that. But then last year we went there, Silverstone slapped a 6-can limit on us. And then when this year, there was no alcohol because they said they were trying to promote family-friendly environment, but you can buy the beer inside. So it does help, I find, that you do have a drink when you're watching these events, yeah.
Goodbye, all right, good.
I think the biggest factor,
thanks, James.
the biggest point is the players' ability to perform to the highest level and put on the best show without their normal atmosphere.
The raucousness, yeah.
Because you said it about the football in COVID, and I just remember watching a lot of the games, thinking, this ain't what I want.
Well, what I would say is we've got a darts board yards from here, and I've yet to hit a treble 20, and I've been sober for 14 years. So what does that tell you?
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.